that music?
Yep. Why, I'm not supposed to hear that?
Yeah, you are supposed to hear. Come out here. Oh.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.
Oh my God. I'm back in the country. Everybody check my tan. Everybody check my tan right now. Check your boy's tan. I'm back. This is Masters of None, episode 98.
Episode 98.
We're too short of that big hundo.
Yo, what up, Twiz?
Too short of that big hundo, bro. Oh my God, yo.
Yeah, Twiz, my bad. We were checking camera angles. Welcome back home, man.
Yo, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. I'm glad to be back, you know. I'm glad to be back. I mean, I had a great time. But you know, all good things must come to an end, including vacation. But we're back. You know, I got some new ink. Got some new ink right here that your boy got placed on him. Look at that shit. Look like a sticker.
It does.
That shit is just popping off of there. You know what I'm saying? Wait till my hair grows back. Look, you can see where she shaved me. Look, you can see where she shaved me. I'm a fucking gorilla, bro.
When she did shave you, whatever was left at like the bottom, you know, when like the line that you shave to where all the hair collects. Yeah. It was definitely like a fur ball there.
There wasn't, bro, there was tumbleweeds all over the fucking place. They were falling to the ground and blowing around, bro.
That like 3x3 square, she took like 4 razors to do on you.
Bro, she said un estudio de tatuaje y también una barbería. That's just me. I was like, yeah, something like that. I was like, yeah, it's kind of a barbershop now.
That brings up a good topic, man. Do you believe that you should come pre-shaven?
I told her
to
that.
Go get tattooed?
I told her that. I said, I apologize for not pre-shaving before I came here. I said, typically I try to do that. But she's like, it doesn't matter. In any case, she's like, we always shave the client. She's like, there's no way that you can shave yourself to be as freshly shaven as you need to be to get a tattoo placed.
Okay.
So that's kind of, it's not a thing. So yeah, I got me a traditional swallow while I was out in Mexico with some bright colors from the homie Madame Ink.
Madame Ink.
Yeah, but her name is Frida. She's over at Latin Tattoo Tulum. She's super dope. You know, it's my style, an American traditional. You know.
No, she fucking did a stellar job. I was gonna say something and now I completely forgot. I was gonna say that. Oh, I once one time, so I was getting tattooed and the guy whips out a razor and he like rubs it like once against me and like he laughed out. He laughed to himself. He scoffed. So he pulls the razor out and he puts it against my arm and he goes like 2 times. He goes and he goes and just throws the razor away. He just throws it away.
Hey, did he check your ID afterwards?
He scoffed at me. So of course I'm not gonna just leave that. I was kind of like, yeah, I don't have much hair. And I guess that gave him opened up the door for him to talk shit. And he was like, yeah, man, you're like smooth. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and I'd start with my dolphin joke. I'm like, yeah, I'm like a dolphin or a swimmer.
Yeah, a porpoise of some sort. Yeah, it's all good, man. Shout out Twiz in the chat, man. He's welcoming me back. What are you jealous of? What are you jealous? You jealous of the tat? You jealous of the new ink? Or you jealous of the tan? Talk to me, bro. Let me know.
I'll tell you what I'm jealous of that Twiz has. Twiz got a fucking stellar mustache right now. If anybody hasn't seen Twiz lately, he sent us a picture of him. I was gonna put it up on the big screen today, but he's not feeling well, so I'm not gonna fuck with him. But man, Twiz, that mustache you're rocking is very nice.
It's spot on, I must say.
Very nice mustache. I thought he was a state trooper.
You thought
Thought he was a fucking state trooper. When I seen him with that mustache, I was like, oh, wait.
You were like Reno 9-1 Twiz.
Yeah. He's got that porn star mustache going on right now. It's fucking nice.
Yo, it's the best kind of porn star.
Yeah.
I mean, the best kind of mustache to have.
Honestly, I'd try to rock that if I didn't have a fear that my facial hair would never grow back. Like what I have right now, I don't want to shave it off in fear that I will never grow this back.
You won't.
And then I'll just be stuck with that fucking porn star mustache because I couldn't get rid of that at that point, right? If I shave the goatee, if I just leave a mustache and then the goatee doesn't grow back, I'm stuck with porn star mustache for the rest of my life.
I got a text message saying that your word of the day is stellar.
Stellar.
Yeah, stellar. So you must. A lot of things are stellar. What's stellar? The tattoo.
I don't even know.
The tan.
I don't even remember saying it.
Yo, that's how you know it's the word of the day. It's natural. Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah,
you know?
What was the other thing I was saying?
Enormous.
Enormous. Cocked. There's a lot of words. I do say cocked a lot. There's a lot of things that are cocked. If it's not lined up straight, it's a little cocked.
It is, and if you see I'm drinking a Corona, because your boy just got back from Mexico. Just to remind you, you know what I'm saying. Just got back.
Listen, you're bougie, man. You're not one of these regular degular bitches going to Miami.
Nah, I'm not. I've been to Miami, and Miami's too expensive to not go somewhere else. If I'm gonna spend Miami money, I'm going out of the country.
But getting to Miami's cheap, right? You can take a Spirit flight over there for like $125.
Yeah, that's all it is. But the Spirit flights, you don't even have a chair. In the Spirit flight, you sit Indian style like this. You just hold your knees on the floor.
Are you kidding me? They use the same planes that people jump out of to go skydiving with. They just tie you up to a string and hook you to the top so you don't fall out.
Now they put one parachute in the middle. They're like the fastest motherfucker lives if this shit goes down.
It definitely takes twice as long. I'm convinced. If you take a Spirit flight, like it takes you longer to get there.
It's funny because on my flight back, I don't know if I told you this.
What?
On my flight back, some lady was like passing out. She's like passing out, and they start. It's funny because last podcast, I was talking about how if they ask for a doctor, they don't want a doctor with a doctorate in sociology to stand up. Mm-hmm. They were asking for a doctor on the plane, and this lady had to be like back there taking care of her the whole time. They were discussing emergency landing the plane, and I'm like, we're not emergency landing the plane.
What was wrong with this lady?
She just had anxiety and was fucking passing out and shit from the plane because she's scared of flying. You could just tell she was all fucking pale and shit, and she was just like all sweaty. And I was like, this lady's not having some kind of event. I think that's anything more than just shitting her pants a little bit.
So they had a radiologist sit back there with her just in case.
And no, it was actually a doctor of forensic fucking studies. It was a doctor of the Dewey Decimal System. They were just really good at looking up books. That's all it was.
They had a librarian back there with her.
Not even. I would have taken a librarian. It was more like the person that's like, you have to donate $25 to get into the MoMA, and you're like, I got $6, and they're like, well, $6 will do, and you're like, actually, I got to grab a hot dog when I leave, so you take this $1 and let me in.
And you know what they
give
say?
me my pin and take a fucking walk.
That's it. Yeah, you can't still see the dinosaurs though. That's where they draw the line.
Yo, exactly. You don't want to do that.
You don't get the whole thing. You don't have to get the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, you don't get to see the whale up on the ceiling or whatever.
You don't get that stellar image of Shamu.
We're like confusing like 3 museums in the city.
There's no whales.
The MoMA's the museum, like. What is the Museum of Modern Art?
Yeah, and I'm talking about the Museum of Natural History.
Yeah, and me too, because I'm like the whale on the ceiling. This is why it's the master of none, because we literally don't know shit about shit.
Don't know anything. Very little about very little. But we will fill in the fucking blanks.
We'll work it out every time. We'll make the bullshit entertaining. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. Just like that cop that got caught squeezing one off in somebody's house. What? Okay, so you guys might see the title today. It says it's a San Jose officer. There was a San Jose officer who was allegedly caught masturbating in a home of somebody that he was reporting to as like a scene of domestic violence. Supposedly he was in the other room. They say it started with him like touching himself. They're like he was kind of touching himself weird, and then he went to the other room and just like, you know.
So how did this go? He was like, yeah. So who started the fight?
Yeah.
Huh? Who started it? Huh? Who was the aggressor? Huh? Was it you?
Was it you, man? What it was? He was turned on. Because in my mind, I think this guy needs help. I don't think he needs to lose his job. I think that he needs rehabilitation.
you're not rehabbing a cop that's whacking one off in the home of a person that needs his help. And especially it's a domestic disturbance. It's not like he went there because, somebody got locked out of their house, or something like that.
This guy's not shooting fools in the stairwells with a Snickers bar. This guy's whacking one off. Who do you want? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, it starts with whacking one off. What if whacking one off isn't doing it for him? And then he starts to need a little more.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, the dog is missing. And you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here?
Now that I think about it, you're absolutely correct. This is where it starts.
Yeah,
this guy just got caught in the inception.
Yeah.
In the inception. He got caught at the very beginning. Next thing you know, this guy's fucking...
Yo, shout to Twiz because he says he was off the E. Yeah, he must have been rolling or something like that. He took some Molly before he went to that call, and he was like, he was rubbing his feet on the carpet or something and started getting all fucking turned on.
Yo, what up, Ray Figs? Thank you very much, man. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, shout out Ray Figs, man.
Ray Figs was here from the beginning.
Yeah, he was, man.
Day
he was
one.
here from the jump, bro. He was here from the jump.
Go check him out. Ray Figs on Instagram. Ray Figs Collectibles on Instagram. Ray Figs Music on Instagram. Ray Figs
everything on Instagram. Ray Figs, I think, next he's coming with a cooking show.
Yeah.
Ray Figs.
I support him if he did it.
Ray Figs on everything, bro.
Facts.
But yeah, he was more than likely probably. Hold on.
For the people listening on Spotify,
we'll get back to
on
it.
all our audio platforms, Justin's flexing his new tattoo on people.
Yo, and Berto's funny because he's like, yo, it's funny how you keep on getting tattoos on the arm that's closer to the camera.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, Justin strategically places all his new tattoos for like that side. I don't blame him.
It's my good side. The best thing is this is my good side, and my girl's good side is her left side.
Okay.
There's nothing that says that you're meant to be together more than that.
That's what that means.
You know what I mean? Of course.
Yeah, I bet you guys have fucking aligning signs too. What's your rising moon?
I'll tell you what. While we were in Mexico, that blood moon or whatever, that lunar eclipse happened. And apparently was supposed to do something to Scorpios, and my girl's a Scorpio, so I was just sitting in the cut waiting for her to explode or some shit. I was like, what's going to happen? I even put it on my story.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, seeing that blood moon, I didn't know so many of my fucking friends owned fucking, what are those things called? Periscopes or fucking, what are those?
A telescope?
Telescope, thank you. Yeah, periscope. I didn't know so many of my friends own telescopes, bro. Everybody's fucking posting pictures of this fucking moon. They're like, HD pictures. They're like, did you check this out from last night? And I'm like, where the fuck did you get that picture?
Yeah, bro. It's. I'll tell you what, man. I actually I got a little bit of footage of the moon while we were out there because it looked crazy. Like I didn't get what I wanted.
Yeah,
but
I didn't see it. I seen images of it, but I didn't get to see it. I missed it all. I missed the fucking comets. I missed the fucking UFO sightings, the blood moons, the fucking the solar eclipses, the lunar eclipses, the Mitsubishi eclipses. I miss every single event, bro. Every single one. I miss it. Because they're all like at obscure times. It's like, and you can only catch it for a couple seconds. If you want to see a comet, like you got to go out at 4:44 and like look, and it's like look northeast. It's like,
and you have to play the Jay-Z album.
Yeah, I try to see all this shit, but I've missed it all.
Bro, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, man, I miss Halley's Comet. I'll never see it again. I'll never see Halley's Comet. Can you believe that? And they rub that shit in when you go to school. They're like, did anybody see the comet last night? Well, if you didn't see it, it's not going to come by for another 400 years.
Yeah, like you'll never see it again.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck.
You mean you missed the one day where you could actually see Venus with the naked eye?
Yeah. Shit like that.
It's like, Jesus Christ, man. I know there's always something going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Twiz is like the periscope is on a submarine.
Well, obviously I know that because I'm very cultured when it comes to fucking
that's
military
the shit like
equipment.
That's the shit like this where you're looking up like
that was like a crazy invention at the time. Like when they made that,
it's still a crazy invention. It's still groundbreaking. I still don't get it.
It's a mirror in there. That's how they do it.
I don't know what the fuck it is. There's multiple mirrors, or else it'll flip the image.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a mirror reflected onto a mirror that then projects the image. Like because if not,
everything would be like inverted. Fuck me.
Again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it sounds pretty goddamn good.
Telescopes been around for a long fucking time for how crazy they are, right? When you think about it.
Yo, it's been around since like, isn't that a telescope that like the pirates would be like, "Arr," and be like, and like
the pirates, bro. What about the Greek fucking, people who named all the
constellations?
The constellations, yeah, those come from like,
Is that where that's from? The Greeks?
I don't know if it's Greeks, but I know it's like that time period.
I thought it was from some kind of natives that they were like, oh, this constellation is visible, so now we are going to cut somebody's heart out.
Not like Galileo.
Galileo Figaro, let me go.
Swizz, where's Galileo from? What year is that? Please help us out, Swizz.
Convex and concave. He's dropping some shit. Twizz, you got to be here in person to be dropping these special kind of terms.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm like, convex? I'm like, I got the convex chucks at the crib. I got the convex all-stars, bro.
Tell us when Galileo, because I believe it's existed for a very long time. I truly don't know. Hopefully Twizz tells us, but I believe the telescopes existed for a very long time. It's a crazy thing. Yeah. Like, to be able to see that fucking far.
I don't really understand it to be. It's like a bunch of lenses, like stacked, right?
I bought one time off of like Let Go or some shit like that.
Yeah, and you gave it to me.
Did I give it to you?
It's at my crib. It's at my crib. We have still yet to fire that puppy up.
Bro, listen to me when I tell you. So here's my story. I totally forgot I gave it to you.
You gave it to me. It's at my crib.
So get this. I'm going through a phase. And I'm telling you right now, I wanted nothing more than to sit on my roof and like fucking see the moon, right? And when I tell you that I owned that fucking telescope for 2.5 years and didn't get ever to see anything out of it, dude, I never seen anything out of it. And I tried everything. The guy who gave it to me, even the day I got it, he was like trying to show me how to use it. He's like, look, you just look through it like this. And I was like, I don't see anything. He's like, you'll figure it out. Don't worry. Here's like all these lenses and shit he gave me. Bro, I never seen anything through it. I wanted nothing more than to see fucking Jupiter. You know?
You never got to see so you gave me a broken one or you just didn't know how to use it?
I didn't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you what. I'm going to figure that shit out.
I hope you do.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you over and I'm going to drink this new tequila that I got while I was in Mexico. And we're going to look at some shit through that thing.
I want to, man. I want to fucking go online and buy one of those stars and name it after me and my dog. You know?
Yeah, I'm going to buy you a star. You know how they do that? You could buy somebody a star.
Yes.
You know how you could do that? And like then they could like view it. It's like some bullshit. Like, how you selling somebody a star? What kind of scam is that?
Yeah, who even could do that? They do that shit with like whales and shit too. You could like buy a little whale. You could buy a whale in the ocean and like donate money to it. Dude, did you see all the fucking controversy going on with like the woman who runs the BLM? Like the group BLM.
Yeah, I seen freaking Candace Owens exposed her ass for stealing the money and buying a mansion.
Yeah, stealing the money, buying a mansion, bro. She had her brother and her man on contract. She paid him one dude. She paid one of them $1 million. Paid the other one $800,000 for like. He's like one of them's like a driver, and the other one's like her fucking fitness consigliere or some shit like that.
Bro, it's a hustle, like, bro.
Bullshit job. Isn't that crazy?
It's a hustle, bro.
Bro, there's mad stories coming out about people like there was this one kid who was, I don't know if he was shot or he had died, and they did like a rally for them, and they said when it was time for the burial and stuff like that, all the people from BLM came and they did like a rally for this kid, and when the funeral time came, they didn't give him any money. Like they thought that they were going to come and cover the fucking funeral. They came, did a rally, collected money, and got the fuck out of Dodge.
Bro, it's essentially at this point, it's like a scamming, like criminal type of mentality. Like she's just stealing the money.
That's so crazy.
Remember when Wyclef did that big collection for Haiti and then like stole the money? He like stole some of the money and then they shot him he got like shot in like the hand or something like that. Like in Haiti, they were like, yo, motherfucker, like we didn't get none of this money, bro.
How much is left? That's like this is like the Fire Island party that Ja Rule was associated with.
Bro, what, Firefest?
Yeah, it's like this is like the fucking fire. This is a hoax, you know what I'm saying? It does so much
Firefest. It's so strange.
Justin's gonna be showing off that tattoo until episode 100. No, but it's crazy because it really discredits the actual movement.
It does, and it's shameful because this is gonna end up like, you know, kind of tainting everything that's associated with it, because really you're stealing. Imagine how much good that money could have done.
Yeah.
You know, while you're shouting out to defund this and defund that, you're stealing millions of dollars.
Yeah, it totally discredits their entire the
cause.
Their cause, yeah.
You know, and it's
crazy.
And you know, that's just what ends up happening. You know how that goes, man. Once the money starts coming in, any organization starts being corrupt. I don't care what it is. If you look deep enough, bro, you'll see that the going green, they're stealing money. Mm-hmm. The global warming, they're stealing money. Everybody's stealing money.
You see all those churches where the pastor gets caught driving a Bentley and shit. Guy got a private plane.
Got a private plane. He's talking about the Lord. You mean you don't want me to fly around? The Lord said I need a plane to fly around and spread the word.
I was chosen, and that's why I get to have a wife in multiple states.
He said, the Lord said himself that that man don't need to be checking in for such a long process. He needs a private jet. Send him to the Clearport, not the airport.
I can't be riding on planes with no sinners.
That's right. You know, Coach is full of sinners.
Have you ever rode Spirit? Full of sinners. Jesus Christ. There's corruption everywhere, man. It's honestly terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though, to be honest. But it's hysterical. But I'll tell you what's not corrupt.
I know where you're going. Let's hear it.
I'll tell you what's not corrupt. Camille Vasquez, the attorney that's taking care of our boy Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Holding it down. And I don't know if she's just taking care of him in court or she's taking care of him on the side. That hug, it looked very erotic.
I'll tell you what. She deserves a little something.
He should hold her down.
She deserves a little something. Jack Sparrow needs to send a little rum her way. You know what I'm saying?
100%. He should dress up like Jack Sparrow, and he should be him for like a week. They go somewhere, get an island. He got a lot of money.
Wait, you don't think you mean to tell me that he's not like, wow, sweetheart, and she's not like, ooh, I'm a wench. I don't know.
You think that Robert Downey Jr. puts on the Iron Man costume when he's like, just as a kick to get the girls off? They definitely do. Because if I was Iron Man...
Of course they do. Are you kidding me? He's got 3 guys that lift him when he goes like this. He's got 3 guys in the house, and they just carry him around.
If you're a famous actor who played like some kind of like a staple character, you definitely have played that character in the bedroom.
Yeah, bro, for sure. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. shoots like 8 balls out of his hand like this. Like he's Iron Man. Just 8 balls.
You get a ball. You get a ball.
Right? Everybody gets a ball. Ah!
That's so fucking funny.
Yo, for sure, bro. But I can guarantee that they do something role play related. But she is a savage.
Yeah, she's a hell of an attorney. She was going in,
bro. She's
a hell of a litigator.
She's like, you're the abuser, aren't you? Aren't you? What did you call him in that recording? You called him a piece of shit. A talented piece of shit, didn't you? Didn't you, Miss Heard? And she's like, well, I don't really recall. She's like, oh, you don't recall? Well, let's remind you. Please pull up Exhibit 39.7 LE and play 142 to 212. And they pull it up, and she's saying exactly that. I'm like, oh, my God. She's like, on this date, didn't you, it's true that you filed for a restraining order, didn't you, Miss Heard? And she's like, yes, I did. I was in fear. I was in fear and I just wanted to recuperate from the assault. I didn't want to be around men or whatever she's saying. She's like, okay, so you applied for that on the 20th of May? And she's like, yes, I did. And she's like, okay, then why on the 22nd of May did you have James Franco at your penthouse?
And did you see the video of him?
I don't remember the exact day. She's like, let's remind you, and pulls up the video of the elevator where they're all cuddling in the elevator.
Yeah, yo, shout out to James Franco for being a real G. He knew where that camera was. Didn't even look up, kept his head down, went straight to the camera without looking at it, and turned his back to it. Yeah. And then you could see he must have said something to her because then she starts covering her face with her hair and shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's a real G. He's more like a dirtbag little slimy jerk that's going with a married woman. Because I don't know if they were even divorced at the time yet. But either way, she's in some rocky relationship. He's one of them guys.
Hollywood. It's different over there. They got different rules.
These
guys are millionaires.
I don't play with these sucker dudes that are like, he shouldn't treat you that way.
Yeah, I don't like that shit either.
I hate those guys.
I've never been that guy.
Anybody that's a guy like that or knows a guy like that that's like, I wouldn't treat you that way. Yeah. Dude, you deserve to get knocked out publicly with your teeth hitting the tile floor right in front of everyone.
Guys like that get friend zoned, though. You know what I'm saying?
They not only get friend zoned, they get knocked out on a regular. And they should.
You can't.
Don't be that guy.
You can't be that guy at work either. Too. That personality doesn't just start with like people who are in relationships.
What, the work husband?
No, that kind of personality. What up, Spaz? That personality is not just people who are like, your boyfriend treats you poorly. Like, I would never treat you like that. That's the same guy that goes up to your boss and it's like, yo, man, everything good? Yeah, man, everything's good. All right, man, I'm going to get out of here. Yo, it's kind of weird, though. Are we getting 50-minute breaks? Because I see Justin takes a 50-minute break every day, man. That's funny. I'm just kidding, man. I'll see you later. Like, that's the same kind of guy that does something like that, who rats on you for stealing time at work or some shit like that, when it has nothing to do with him. That's the weirdest thing. That's the same kind of guy that at the supermarket, when the cashier forgets to scan the Coca-Cola, he says, "Oh, you forgot to scan that one." Shut the fuck up, Dave.
Yeah, shut.
Nobody's asking you. This doesn't affect you, and it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody, if I take an extra break, it doesn't affect you. If the supermarket forgets to scan something and I pay less, it doesn't affect you. Shut the fuck up.
And mind your goddamn business if I drive past the valet. I don't valet, and I'm going in the parking lot.
My car's stick shift.
Don't talk. Exactly. Don't talk to me about valeting. I don't know what's in my car in terms of inventory. I don't know what kind of shades I got in here. I don't know what'll be missing if somebody comes in here. So I'm not valeting. So mind your business, Dave.
Really, you know what's funny?
Dave is an asshole.
Dave is an asshole. You know what's funny about valeting? I feel like it was something that was way more dangerous back in the day. I feel like it's safer now in terms of like robberies for like loose change in your car.
Yeah, that's true. I would probably say that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like lately, like I don't like to valet. I valet if we're driving around in my chick's car. But if I'm driving my car, I never valet it, just because I told you guys a story last week or 2 weeks ago, or whatever, where I valeted and I fucking when I came back out of the club, my clutch was on the floor. I had to pick it up as I shifted gears.
I remember that day, and it was hilarious. He was like, "Yo, have you ever valeted with these guys at work?" And I'm like, "No, I don't valet because I don't know how much change I got in a cup holder, and I'm not trying to lose it all."
You know what's mad funny? I came out, and the guy said to me, "Man, it's mad hard to find gears in your car." And I was like, "What? What the fuck does that even mean?"
It's a regular ass car. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? And then I came in, and my clutch is like legitimately stuck on the floor. Like he didn't even pick it up before he left. Crazy.
Yo, I love that kind of shit. Hold on. Yo, shout out Spaz, because I didn't shout out Spaz in the chat. Shout out Spaz. Shout out Twiz for all the love in the chat, man. Ray Figs, of course, as always.
I wish you could have caught that on camera. That shit hit me dead in the face.
Did it?
I cracked a beer and I like popped it open, I guess with too much force, and the top of it smacked me like right under the eye. But I'm safe now. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, we're back today. We're going to do 2 episodes next week, Monday, Thursday, and then we're taking another week off. We apologize. I'll be going on vacation. So Justin, we should have took the same time off, but
yeah, we didn't. We actually didn't. We didn't figure that out, but we should have. But in any case, I'm gonna have some. We'll have some content ready, because I'm gonna have. First of all, if anybody's interested in seeing the vacation video from our trip to Tulum, I'll have that video. That video should be up, as well as a couple of edits that we got in the works from the podcast. So it's gonna be 100%. It's gonna be interesting.
So we do have content available for those weeks, but it's gonna be like, just new videos, maybe some intro video. Justin's been working on this. Artists are so funny because like their work is never completed. Justin has this video that I thought was amazing, right? And I keep like seeing different iterations of this video, which are all amazing. And I'm just like, damn, like when's like, is this it? And he's like, no, it's not it. I'm like, motherfucker, this is done. This has been done since the first time. I can't wait to drop it, but it's going to be dropped the week of the 31st.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, typically I don't show, or I try my best not to show anybody any work like before it's fully 100% completed. But my close friends get to see all the iterations, the re-edits, and whether it's video work, whether it's music, whether it's a beat. I'll let close friends hear shit way before they should hear it, and which is not a good habit.
No, I don't think it's bad at all.
No, it's bad from a creative standpoint, because then you get people that like the way that it was done before it was completed. And you're like, yo, but it's not done. And then when you change it and make it better, like more complete, they tend to think they like the other version more.
Oh, yeah.
And then it starts to affect like your creative
you
flow.
can't show those people it. I'm going to tell you no matter what, like, oh, it looks good. I'm not going to, I never go back but I understand what you're saying. Those are the same kind of people that you show them like an image and you're like, oh, I'm going to get a tattoo and this is what it's going to be. And they're like, oh, it's nice, but you should do this. It's like, are you a fucking artist?
Yeah.
Do you be drawing shit in your fucking, you got an iPad you draw on? Because if you don't fucking tell me what it should look like.
You ever hear that dope ass quote from like Picasso, like that situation from Picasso? Apparently he was like eating in like a cafe or like drinking, like having a drink. And some lady comes up to him and she's like, are you Picasso? And he's like, yeah, I'm Picasso. And she proceeds to hand him a napkin and a pen. And she's like, would you mind like doing a quick sketch? So he does his quick sketch and like a few minutes later he hands it to her. And she's like, oh my God, thank you so much. And he commanded like some exorbitant amount of money. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, this is just a sketch on a napkin. It took you minutes. And he's like, yeah, it didn't take me minutes. It took me 40 years to get this good, to then do that sketch in this amount of time.
That's the truth. It's that goes for everything. A plumber, an electrician comes to your house and finds the problem immediately and then solves that problem. And then he asks you for money. You're like, well, it only took you 15 minutes. It took me 15 minutes because I've been doing this for fucking 15 years and I know what to look for.
That's why I force money on you when you work on my car.
Well, no,
this guy tries not to take money. And I'm like, I'm giving you money no matter what. I'm just going to hide it. You're just going to find it one day in the yard. You're just going to find $300 and be like, what the hell is this? And I'm going to be like, yeah, motherfucker, there's going to be a note on it, stapled to the money, like, bam, brakes and rotors on such and such date.
Yeah, that's because you and I, we have the ability to trade resources too, because there's things that you're good at, there's things that I'm good at. So, we end up evening out no matter what.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There's another thing that besides my tattoo and my trip to Tulum, you know what I'm saying? But ASAP Rocky and Rihanna welcome their new baby.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Congratulations. So what's the story with them? Are they together? Are they not?
They're together.
Yeah, see, they're together. ASAP Rocky he's the guy.
He's
the guy. Yeah. Top G.
Top G, 100%.
Top G.
Top G, 100%. That's top G shit. You don't just, throw a baby in that woman. She could have had anybody she wanted from Sri Lanka or whatever fucking country she's from.
She's from Barbados.
Barbados, that's where she's from. She could have had anybody from Barbados that she wanted.
Yo, bro, can we take a minute to just appreciate the fact that I'm not, like, reflecting the light back from being so pale?
Is that what it is? Now you're darker. Now you.
Bro, look at the feed. Look at the feed.
Are you tanner than you? When you
of course I'm tanner, bro. I just came back from vacation. Of course I'm tanner.
And they said the Mexican sun is very hot.
Yo, it is very hot. But I did want to touch a little bit on this trip to Tulum that we had. It was lit. It was super lit. It was a good time. I mean, we stayed in an Airbnb. We had access to some bicycles. We rode around. We stayed in like more toward the center of Tulum, and then on certain nights, like, because we went on a Thursday, so we went like on the weekend we were going out like toward the the beach clubs and stuff like that to like party. I won't get too into the beach clubs, but anybody wants to hit me like off air and ask me about what that experience was like, I'm more than happy to share some stories. So Twiz, anybody in the chat, if you're curious about this spaz, you can hit me too. Anybody that's in here, like
hit us on Instagram, Justin to let you know what the underbelly of these day parties look like.
DM us on Instagram, and I will be happy to have a sidebar conversation with anybody. Still waiting on the box braids ratio. I'll tell you right now, there was quite a few box braids. It depends on where where you went. It depends on where you went. There were some like nomadic lone Americans that you would just find there that were just like by themselves with a backpack and like a nice bicycle that were just doing their own thing.
Dude, those guys are everywhere. You go on vacation and there's always like a dude alone with like an American guy with dreads that's like
and no shoes.
Yeah, no shoes, like a Pacifico bicycle, and he's just got nothing to do and he wants to hang out with you. It's the fucking weirdest thing. That happened to me when I was in Peru. We were going to Cusco. And they're going to see Machu Picchu. And there was this guy who spoke perfectly good English. and he was like an American guy, and he was on the bus with us up. I'm just like, damn, this guy's by himself. He asked us where we were from because we kept going back and forth from English to Spanish. But some people, I don't know.
It was a good time. I mean, it was a little different because I don't know if anybody's ever been there. You ever been to Mexico or like Tulum in particular? Because that's I've only been to, Cancun is where we flew into, and then you drive to Tulum.
And I haven't been to Mexico since I was a kid, so.
Yeah. There's pharmacies like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And these pharmacies it's the weirdest thing because you just go in and there's signs out on the sidewalk that say like what they carry in the pharmacy. And when you walk in, the pharmacist hands you a menu. They straight up hand you a menu that has a list of everything you can get. Everything from Xanax to antibiotics to pain pills. She looked at me and she was like, she's like, ¿Está buscando anything? Like, you looking for anything in particular? And I'm like, no. And she looks at me and she's like, ¿steroides anabólicos? And I'm like, anabolic steroids. I'm like, what do you think? I need something? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm good. And she's like,
if you look like you need a cycle.
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, do I need something? I was like, don't say that in front of my girl. I was like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny. That's one of the things I heard about there too. That like you go there and they're like, fentanyl and fucking Adderall. What do you need?
Yeah, bro. They were like, yo, Ambien. They were like, anything for the flight. They had like a list of like travel meds, like ones that'll like chill you out, like while you're on the plane. Like they were like travel meds. They were like Xanax, Ambien, Dramamine, like anything.
Yeah, for rapid results, rail.
Yeah, right. But it was cool, man. I was like, I wonder if this is a real pharmacist. They had lab coats on.
Well, yeah, you could get those.
But they were acting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they throw a lanscope. They throw a fucking. Those are the doctors you don't want to fucking hear about when you're on the plane. Those are the guys you don't want to fucking putting their hand up.
Yeah. All right, so shout out to Spaz in the chat. He says he stayed in Cancun but didn't leave the resort. Nah, I was in Tulum riding bikes around the streets out there. So we were just riding around, going to like local shops, local markets. Bro, I bought a 6-pack of Corona for 85 pesos, which is like $5 American.
That's crazy.
A 6-pack of Corona for $5? Yeah. One Corona in a restaurant in America or in New York, per se, costs you like $8.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like $8 in a sports bar, like in a dive bar.
And even getting it at the store, that 6-pack is like what, $18, $15?
Nah, 6-pack is like $11, like $10, $11. So it was literally half the price.
I went to a gas station the other day and I bought a 6-pack. I think I was going to meet you guys for the fight. And it was more than $1 a beer. It was like $1.50 or something like that a beer. I was like, why the fuck? Maybe it was just because it was a gas station off of the highway.
Yeah, it probably was. What kind of beer was it too?
Coronas.
Yeah, Coronas are typically like $10.99, $11.99.
Yeah,
sometimes $9.99, like $10.
Okay,
between $10 and $12.
The same Coronas that are in there, the ones I bought for the Cinco de Mayo episode. Which, if you guys haven't seen, go check it out. It was a fucking banger. We had the NY Barber in the house.
That's
really
right.
Good episode. Go check it out.
And it was a really, really good episode. We debuted a new segment on there that was lit. So next guests, whoever comes up on here next, get ready because we're gonna have some interesting segments and it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, 100%. Let's catch up on the chat real quick and then we'll get to our next topic.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
So Spaz says, I wish I had self-medication to extend here. There's actually a pretty big following of people who order prescription medications for fish to bypass. Yo, there's a lot. I was telling Justin about that, about all the people who like go to get like insulin and like all like the Medicaid. A lot of people do that in general, not just for like medicine, but also for healthcare. And like people go to their countries to go to the doctor to get dental work. Big for dental work.
Yeah, it's not only Mexico. It's like big in Cuba. Cuba's big. Like people go to Cuba to get insulin. Like insulin here is damn near unaffordable. Like you can't purchase insulin here. You need insurance or else you just get your feet cut off in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things. So over there, it's very different. It's like it's almost like sad. It's like, like myself, me and my girl were talking about it like while we were down there. It's like, because it was funny at first. It's like, damn, you could just go in here and just buy these meds. But then it's like, really, why is it that meds are so hard to get a hold of in America, and two, so costly?
Because we're being extorted. By the man.
It's the reason is just medicine is just big business in America. Mm-hmm. It's become way too profitable to actually think about helping people. People are just thinking about making money.
Yeah. Dude, there's no reason why people should have a tough time getting insulin.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, it's...
No. You feel that way for type 1 and type 2?
Insulin is insulin. You need insulin.
Yeah.
You know, in either case. I mean, given type 2 sometimes is weight related, but sometimes it isn't. You know, I definitely do think that there needs to be diet adjustment.
Yeah. No, I'm fucking with you.
There definitely needs to be diet adjustment, because I have family members that are like, you know, when they hit 200 pounds, they're diabetic. When they're under 200 pounds, they're not.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, people do need to have a little bit of discipline in that regard, but at the same time, it is something that that is genetic a lot of times.
So, two things. I'm going to say, Saisha says the same thing in DR. Same thing with the pharmacy. I was telling about Justin one time. Me and my cousin were in DR. He got really sick, and my parents just went down to the pharmacy, got him a shot, gave it to him in his ass, and they were like, "All right, you're good. Like, you're going to be okay." Same thing. You can get whatever you want in the pharmacy. And to go back up to Spaz's comment, he says he knows he's a little late, but we talk about Clash of the Creators and the Creator Clash. Excuse me. Have you heard about that?
I don't even know what that is.
It was like another boxing like event.
Oh, what is
creators?
What kind of creators?
YouTube creators. I don't know if they were all YouTube creators, but they were just creators in general.
Were there anybody that was decent?
There was nobody that was like a boxer.
Well, nobody that's a boxer, but anybody that's ever trained in their life that looks like they knew how to throw a punch.
There was one guy. He's a doctor on YouTube, and he had trained when he was young. It's funny because he says when the whole entire thing first started, he was like, you know, I started boxing when I was 12, and then he gets into the boxing match, doesn't do as good as everybody thought he was going to do, and then he's like, I said I boxed when I was 12. I didn't say I've been boxing since I was 12. You know, it's different. But I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I've seen like highlights of it. It did just look like people who don't know how to fighting each other. There was some women fighting that were very good.
I mean, technique with, this is what I say, like boxing is a very different thing. Like knowing how to throw a punch when you have significant added weight to your hands is very different. Like throwing a punch with an 8-ounce glove versus throwing a punch with, you know, no glove, or throwing a punch with a 4-ounce glove, they're very different things. I mean, it's not something that can really be compared. It's not something that you can't just put on 8-ounce gloves, or, you know, 16-ounce gloves typically are used for like training, for like bag work and pad work. Like if you can't just throw those gloves on and just throw punches normally. Most people that you grab off the street, if you put 16-ounce gloves on them, they can't break an egg. Like they literally can't break an egg. Like you could let them punch you in the face and it's not going to do anything, you know, unless you let them like fucking load up. But if they throw a regular punch, it's not going to do anything to you. It's not going to do much, you know. So when you have people that don't train and then you throw like 8-ounce gloves on them or something like that, I don't really expect too much from them. It takes a significant amount of effort and training and some time to be able to land a decent punch with some boxing gloves on.
Spaz says that it got pretty good reviews and feedback. I assume we'll be seeing much more in the future. I think, like, you know, this is something that I don't think it's going to become really big, but it's like it still hasn't reached a peak yet. This celebrity boxing / like YouTube, like influencer boxing, combat sport things. I think that we're going to start seeing now, like people kind of fall into the MMA realm. Not against like real professional MMA fighters, but also like now saying, you know, like creator MMA fights, which are, you know, a little more dangerous than I don't know, it's arguable than a boxing match.
The trouble with MMA fights is I don't know if they'll ever clear like creators. Excuse me.
Yeah, like for a sanctioned event
for an MMA fight. That's very different. You're much
put
more
those fools in the fight. They'll find some weird state they could anybody could fight in, and they'll just fucking film it. It doesn't have to be sanctioned. And to answer your training question, Spaz says they pretty much did their training a few months earlier. Like, you know, you sign up to fight, they know it, so they got like, you know, they signed a contract.
Months isn't enough time.
Months isn't enough time. No, but they're fighting other dudes who are also not boxers. They get the same amount of time. That's super cool. I think that from like a friend standpoint, like you doing something like that with your friends is pretty cool. Not just like boxing. I've talked to like you about it and our other friends about it, where I was kind of like, let's find something that none of us have ever done, right? like we talked about it with golf, and Juan wanted to do tennis or this or that, whatever. Find a sport that none of us have ever done before, and let's fucking do that shit for a little bit and see who's the fucking alpha fucking sportsman or whatever, you know, who's like the most. And we've all like joked about it and, you know, said like, oh, I want to do this sport, I want to do this sport, I want to do that sport. I forgot what I said I wanted to do. I think I said golf, and then Juan said tennis, and I don't think you said anything because I think you're like, well, I golfed and played tennis. So
I definitely never played tennis. Like, I've tried to play tennis, but I'm goddamn horrible.
It's exhausting.
Nobody wants to see me play tennis. I can assure you of that.
Yeah, but I'm
pretty goddamn terrible.
Just like boxing, like that's cool too, you know. But and it's also it brings more attention to the sport. I don't necessarily believe that it will bring like the attention that people say. Like they're like, oh, we'll bring more people to watch it, and I don't necessarily believe that. I think that it brings more people to watch like those style of boxing events. I don't think that those people are also going to watch Canelo now.
No, I definitely don't think so.
That's my argument about like people who are like, oh, this is great for the sport because it brings more eyes on. No, in my opinion, that demographic that of people who watch that, which is like a younger audience, those views don't translate to watching. Like I said, a Canelo fight. Those views translate to watching like a Jake Paul fight or like, you know, another influencer fight, like when they did like TikTok versus YouTube or something like that. TikTokers versus YouTubers. So that's kind of like my opinion on that.
I know what you mean with that, but I think people, when they say that, they're talking about when you actually have real fighters on like the undercard. Like if you have like Serrano and stuff like that, like that's what blew her up, was being on the undercard of Jake Paul, even though she's a world-class champion level boxer. Mm-hmm. When you see them on the undercard and you see what it looks like to see people throwing real punches, real combinations, real defense, and real strategic boxing, you're like, what is this? If you're unfamiliar with it, you're like, Jesus, like what that left hook would have took down like a support beam in a house.
Yeah, that is cool when you do get to see the pros get in there and see what it's really supposed to look like.
So that's what I think people are referring to.
That said, they made over $1 million for charity. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that they were doing that, and I didn't know the guy from Epic Mealtime was fighting in it either. But that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
it's cool to see your like the people you follow on YouTube or the people you see. Like, imagine you see what's that guy's Evans. He does Hot Ones.
Oh yeah,
Sean Evans, I think his name is.
Yeah,
something Evans. He does Hot Ones. Imagine seeing him lace up the gloves and like, you know, go box somebody. Even though like,
I guess it's entertaining to a point.
It's entertaining. It might not be entertaining for you and I just because we watch so much other combat sports, but I can see why people are drawn to it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and you know, I can get it. I mean, you know me, man. I'm a combat sports degenerate. There's not much combat sports that I'm not gonna watch. I mean, I'll watch like arm wrestling. I'll watch like I'll watch those slap contests. Like
Justin was on vacation and he's texting me about how good the fight was last night. When I'm not bothering him like intentionally because I know he's on vacation and I don't want to tell him about the fights. And he texts me. He's like, "Yo, that fight was crazy, right?" I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, "You're such a degenerate."
Yeah, I can't help it. I was like, "There's a fight on."
Yeah.
Like we're in the middle of a beach club. Like I did forget for a little while because we were just like chilling and shit. But like the next morning, I was pulling up all the fights on like stream on ESPN Plus, and I was watching the fights. I mean, I was watching Rakic blow his knee out. That was disappointing, like an NFL bad for him.
Yeah, I think that I agree with everything that was said.
Yeah, you agree with everything? All right, I appreciate
everything that was said.
But it was it's just interesting. Like there's always something intriguing to me about fights, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whether it's wrestling, whether it's not pro wrestling. I mean, like actual wrestling, like
Greco-Roman wrestling or freestyle wrestling,
like freestyle wrestling and stuff. That like kickboxing, Muay Thai. I think there needs to be more TV time for Muay Thai.
Okay, yeah, 110%. I think if people really watch that shit, you would realize like these guys are fucking badass.
Muay Thai is scary. Like if I were to like run into a guy and like, whatever, like there's some kind of altercation that I'm witnessing with like two guys and one guy is like, I'm like, nah, chill. I'm like, bro, you need to stop.
This guy has like little shorts on.
Yeah, and he just starts like fucking, and he's just fucking like squared up like on some fucking like real fucking Muay Thai shit, I'll be like, listen, bro, you need to take a walk, get the Twizzlers, get your girl, and go to the car.
Yeah.
Just skip the movie. Like, I gotta stop this right now.
Those dudes be head kicking each other like while they're on top of each other.
Yeah.
They'll head kick you in a phone booth.
Yeah, bro. You don't want nothing to do with that. You don't want some elbows from a dude that's you don't want nothing to do with that. I mean, these guys, they preserve themselves for the fight. Like they go super light when they're sparring. Like, they don't go hard like other combat sports. Like, they don't go like boxing. Most guys leave their career in the gym, because they get knocked out 3 times a week.
But they don't box as much as these guys do Muay Thai fights. These guys are getting, 75 fights in a year.
Yeah, 75, my ass, bro. These guys are fucking fighting like 100 fights in a year.
That's what they're fighting. These Muay Thai guys are fighting a lot.
Yeah, they like retire with like 400 fights.
It's the craziest thing. You'd be like a guy that's like 26 years old in Thailand, and he's like 344 and 75. It's like, what the fuck? How do this guy fight so much?
Yeah.
And we're talking about dudes that are legends like Khabib who retire fucking was it 40-0?
Yeah,
or is it
close? I think it was 40-0 or 39-0, something like that. He was close to that.
Yeah, either way, it's nowhere near the amount of fights that dudes get fighting Muay Thai or kickboxing.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not. And you have the option to take somebody down in MMA and avoid strikes. In Muay Thai, you don't have that option.
No, not only that, dude, you can get head kicked, knocked out, and they'll stand you up and count for 8 seconds in front of you. And if you could just fucking say your name and walk in a straight line, you could get out there and fight again.
Yeah, not a strip. You have to walk. You take 2 steps.
And they drag you. They hold your
gloves
hand.
real quick. Go. It's like boxing too. But that, again, that's the reason why in boxing, a lot more guys lose their lives than they do in MMA. Mm-hmm. Because MMA, they tend to stop the fight. In boxing, go ahead. Go ahead. It's like a cockfight, bro. It's like fight to the death, bro.
When you really think about it, it is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's definitely very weird.
Like watching boxing now, after watching so much MMA, like these dudes get like these knockouts, these knockdowns, and in MMA they would have stopped the fight, and I'm like, wow, they're gonna let this guy up and get hit in the head again, and you got 1 pound gloves on, you got 16-ounce gloves.
Wait a minute, 16-ounce gloves. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. We just got a text right here. I mean, a chat right here.
Let's hear it.
From one of our viewers. I actually gotta go to the local courthouse next week because he lives in or spends a lot of time in Virginia, and that's where the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial is taking place.
Oh,
so he's saying that you want me to run up in the courtroom and plug your podcast? Just gotta pledge the bail and legal representation.
I can give you legal representation. I don't know if I could pledge it. I don't know how much your bail's going to be,
Yeah, I don't know how much your bail's going to be.
We could do it up to a certain number, though.
Well, chances are you might not even need bail. They might just remove you from it. Just, it's just don't do enough to get yourself held in contempt. Like, just go in and just hold up a sign.
Yeah. Listen, they let people run inside the fucking Capitol building and not put them in jail. So I guess you should be able to run in there and do your thing.
But a couple people caught a rubber bullet in the head.
That's a fact.
You don't want to do that.
1 in every 100. You know what I'm saying? You had to be lucky to catch one of those strays that day.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a stray. A couple of them caught one point blank. That lady that tried to jump through the window caught one in the noodle. Went right back out. I was like, yeah, that's not the case. You're not playing house here today, sweetheart. You tried to storm the Capitol building. And
when is this case going to be over?
I don't know, but it's very interesting. Like my favorite part was when Johnny Depp's lawyer, Camille, is a savage. She's
new, right? Because the other dude has been his main lawyer.
Nah, she's been there.
Has she been there?
Yeah, bro, they just pulled the dragon out, this week when Amber Heard was been on.
Who's that closer for the Yankees?
She's Mariano Rivera.
She's Mariano Rivera.
For sure. She came on like 2 days ago she's been on, but I mean like 2 days ago she came on TV and bro, she was wearing an all white pantsuit. Bro, she looked like Scarface, Miami Vice vibes. She came in and was just killing it, bro, killing it. She kept on just shutting down everything that Amber Heard's attorney, that one attorney that Amber Heard has that looks like Ed Sheeran.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
That ugly ass lady. I'm like,
we need to get this lady. I don't mean to speak. I don't want anybody to lose their job, but man, she was not the one. She was not the right one for this.
No, I mean, she clearly was not prepared to this level, but also it's not their fault because they're trying to defend an absolute liar. And it's hard to frame a case and frame a defense around a person that is lying. Like, where do you dig up evidence for a liar?
Yeah,
like,
right.
you can't, so, So when she kept on asking her questions, like she was like, so tell us about, and Johnny Depp's lawyer Camille was like, objection, hearsay, objection, hearsay, objection, lack of foundation, objection, Judge, Your Honor, can we approach? This is ridiculous. Like, and like just kept going up, and then she'd come back, and the judge would be like, I'll sustain the objection. She's like, next question, and she's like, objection, leading, objection, lack of foundation, objection, hearsay. Like she was just, and then after she like objected to like everything that Amber Heard's attorney says, the judge is like, next question, please, and she's like, I don't have any more questions, Your Honor. I guess we're done here.
She objected to all of
She just shut her down. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Johnny, give her to Jack Sparrow.
That's so fucking funny. I feel like we talked about this before, but all their questions are so funny because they're just like, this storefront here, it says Van Skate Shop, right? Is that true? Is that what it says? They always ask them like, this headline, it says this. Is that what it says? It's like,
because they're preparing, they're like setting the
I get
grounds for it.
But I just think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because it was good. Because it was like this. Because the way that you're supposed to use that is the way that Camille, my homegirl, the way she used it. And mind you, is Camille Vasquez una Latina?
Is she
I'm just saying. She might be. I gotta do some research. You know what I'm saying? She looks like she could be. So repping for the squad. La bandera aquí, la tierra de Boring. Now
let's hold off until we find out she's Puerto Rican for sure.
She's honorary Puerto Rican by any case.
Where's that? Virginia?
They're in Virginia. Yeah.
She might be Puerto Rican.
She's probably not from there.
She could be.
She's probably from somewhere else.
I mean, from another state.
Yeah, but damn, me tiraste, coño, se me salió de la mente,
I'm sorry.
Man. Hang on. Amber Heard was talking about that Johnny Depp like ripped hair out of her head, and she presents a photo of like hair on the ground and like a pretend bald spot. You know how everybody has a little swirl in their head?
Yeah,
they got
bird's nest.
Yeah, she's got it like pulled apart that like he ripped her hair out or whatever. And Camille starts asking, she's like, okay, she's asking whoever was on the stand, it was a friend of Amber Heard's or something like that. It was somebody that was on the stand, and she's like, okay, she's like, so Amber testified earlier that Johnny pulled his hair out of her head. She's like, did you take this photograph? And she's like, yes, I took that photograph. She's like, okay, you took that photograph. She's like, okay. She's like, did you move anything or change anything prior to taking that photograph? She's like, no, I didn't. I just took the photo. She's like, okay. She's like, who's this person? And she's like, oh, that's Amber Heard's stylist. She's like, okay. She's like, who's this person? And she's like, that's Amber Heard's like makeup artist. She's like, okay, who's this person? That's Amber Heard's like whatever, other stylist or something. And she's like, and how about this person? And she's like, that's Amber Heard's hairstylist. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, oh. I was like, here she goes, without even saying too much, she's already planting the seed in my brain that Amber Heard got a haircut that week. Mm-hmm. And that's why there's hair on the ground. Yeah. Like she didn't specify that.
Is it possible?
Yeah,
Is it possible that maybe with the stylist, the hair person, and the fucking nail person there, that she was getting a haircut that day?
Yeah, bro. It's like, she didn't say that, but it's just the strategy of being an attorney and an experienced attorney and a goddamn good one that you just kind of plant that seed. I completed. Camille is from LA, of course she is. Sorry,
yeah, she's from LA and she's of. It just says that she's from Spanish origin, so I don't know. Maybe she's from Spain or she's from Mexico
or maybe she's Puerto Rican.
She could be.
La tierra de Borinquen.
I don't know if they got a lot of Puerto Ricans in LA.
Huh?
I don't know if they got a lot of Puerto Ricans in LA. So they do got a lot of...
Bro, there's Puerto Ricans everywhere. We're like cockroaches.
Now, listen, there's a lot of Mexicans in L.A.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans in L.A., but that don't mean there's no pockets of Puerto Ricans out there.
Probably like a 2 or 3. Not as many as...
2 or 3 million?
I don't even think... I don't know. Maybe there's a big cult... Maybe there's a huge Puerto Rican community in California that I don't know about.
I'm not saying it's the South Bronx.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
East Coast, you look at the East Coast and how many there are over here. I don't think that we're fucking around with
Can I have my fucking can I live right now?
You know what? She's Puerto Rican and there's a million of them.
Can I pretend she's Puerto Rican?
All right, go ahead. She's Puerto Rican.
God damn it!
That's like my dad was Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, exactly. Let me live, bro.
All right, man.
All right. She's Puerto Rican until we know otherwise.
All right. She's Puerto Rican, so proven otherwise.
All right. What?
Camille, the Puerto Rican Vasquez. Go ahead.
Yes. You know, she's doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and it's because she's Puerto Rican.
I said no other reason. I mean, hello.
My sister says she's Mexican. I was right.
Well, it just so happens I just came from there. You know, I got a little Mexican ink in my skin.
You do.
Just so you know.
Let me ask you a question, because people say there's like rumors about the Mexican liquor and about how like something it might be like kind of fake liquor or something like that, and how they're feeding the tourists like this like poison liquor. What was your experience? What do you have to the people who say that the Mexican people are giving us like, you know, fake alcohol that's causing us to like, you know, remember all the people who were dying in Cancun?
I don't really know. I can't really speak to I can only speak to the fact that I felt fine. You know, I had quite a few drinks while I was there. I also had beer. I had margaritas. I had liquor that was, the drinks were prepared prior to being brought to my table, like a margarita, like a cocktail. But I also had beers that were opened at the table. And everything was pretty much what I expected. I think what people tend to slack on is to hydrate properly. Because being that you can't drink the tap water, restaurants in Mexico are not like restaurants in the US where they bring you glasses of water and they'll come and fill up your water, because tap water is not something that's safe to drink in Mexico if you're not from there. So I think that people just tend to neglect hydrating properly. You need to order water and it's put on your tab, and they charge you for it because it's bottled water that you need to drink. So I think that oftentimes people go down there, drink irresponsibly
In that Mexican sun.
And don't hydrate the way you need to. And then they're probably, you know, I don't know this for a fact, but I saw quite a few tourists that were blacked out, stumbling around out there in the sun and, you know, possibly going home with people they didn't come there with, you know? So it's like, don't, you know, just be smart. If you travel to Mexico, anybody that travels to Mexico, make sure that you order water while you're drinking. While you're eating your meal, order some water so that you can hydrate while you drink. Because otherwise, you're going to fry in the sun, you're going to get dehydrated, and then you're going to run into problems.
Yeah, like death.
Yeah, like just, you know, not situations that you want to, you know, be a part of. You don't want to run into like kidney issues or liver problems or stuff like that, or, you know, or just alcohol poisoning, like being overly intoxicated. Just don't do it. Yeah. Just make sure you get some
properly.
Water. Hydrate properly. And drink responsibly.
And test your drugs before you do them.
I don't know how you would test them, but, you know, just watch somebody that gets them and see how they do.
There's like people have like test kits that they bring with them to festivals and things like that. That's like a huge thing. They even give out free test kits at a lot of festivals.
Really?
Yeah, so that people don't take fucking fake fucking you know, whatever they're taking these days, MDMA or cocaine or anything like that. But they'll give out, they'll either be selling them or giving them out there so that people have the opportunity to test what they're taking. So, dude, that's gotta, you know, hone down on all the people fucking dying from lace shit or just getting the wrong shit.
Or just don't do drugs.
Yeah,
just
you cannot do drugs.
Have some drinks, hydrate, and do some regular shit. Like,
well,
if you're doing drugs, you're automatically just rolling the dice, no matter who you get it from. It's something that's you have no idea how to. It's not regulated. You don't know where you're getting it from, and if you're doing that, more than likely you're rolling the dice to begin with.
Well, that's why I mentioned the test kit. I'm not telling people to do drugs, but I can also not tell people, you know, just drink alcohol instead.
I mean, alcohol at least is regulated to a degree.
Yeah, but that's why I recommend, you know, testing. I don't give a fuck because I don't got a horse in this race. I don't drink or do drugs, so I'm perfectly fine if I go to the festival. Yeah. But
just to check the chat real quick. So Spaz says, if you don't see the bottle being opened, you can assume your top shelf drink is not top shelf. That's my experience. Well, that could be true. But that's true anywhere.
Yeah.
You go to a restaurant in New York, you go to a restaurant in LA, you go to a restaurant in Miami. If you don't specify that you want Casamigos in your margarita or you want Patron in your margarita, you're getting a house margarita. So you're getting whatever bottom shelf shit they use. But again, bottom shelf alcohol does not equal bad experience. You just need to hydrate a little bit more than you would, because you're getting a lower quality alcohol or liquor, which means there's going to be more impurities in that alcohol, which means that you need to just hydrate. Just drink some fucking water.
Yeah, but there was a lot of people that were dying, and this was like an epidemic. There were a lot of people who were dying in Cancun. They were telling people not to go there because of all this like fake alcohol that they were giving out.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
You've never heard about that?
I heard of it happening in Dominican Republic.
Yeah, it was Dominican Republic, Cancun. I don't know why we got to go there.
I'm just saying. I heard about it in Santo Domingo. I'm just saying.
No, but it's also happening. It's not just Dominican Republic. It's like these like places that people go where there's large what are those things called? They're like huge hotels that you never leave. They're
like resorts.
Resorts. There's like a big resorts industry.
I don't know anything specifically about these cases.
No, but it's public knowledge. It's been out for a while now that this was happening in Cancun. I never heard of it happening in Tulum, but like this was happening in Cancun, and they were like warning people about it. They're like, "Yo, be careful when you go there because their alcohol." They were doing some funny shit. I think it's slowed down a lot because a lot of these places, their tourism is their economy.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
can't afford to kill off people.
They might have been trying something out, trying to see if there was a way that they could cut the liquor or something with something, and clearly that shit didn't work out. I don't know how it was killing people. I don't know if it was shutting people's organ systems down. I don't really know.
There's like a scientific explanation that they ended up finding out, but I don't remember what it was. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I don't know anything about that. But in my experience in this short trip that I was only there for a week.
Yeah, everything seemed legit.
It seemed legit, and the only people that I saw that did not look okay were just people that were consuming enormous amounts of alcohol in the sun and not drinking water.
Well, that's one of the things that I think that happens in a lot of these resorts where they're like all you can eat, all you could drink. Like that maybe these things that you would be drinking wouldn't be so toxic if you were drinking them in like regular amounts, but they're drinking so much of it because you see people go to resorts and they have like these unlimited alcohol passes and they will drink from the morning to the night. And like you can't do that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I saw people like I told you earlier, people stumbling out of these beach clubs because they open at like 11 a.m. and that's peak sun time. 12 to like 4, like 12 to 3:30.
When the sun is highest in the sky.
Yeah, you're talking about direct sunlight, and you're talking about Mexico. This is a different sun. We're closer to the equator. It's a different type of sun. You're literally I don't even know how much closer, but significantly closer to the sun, closer you get to the equator. So it's like you're just further, introducing yourself to the possibility of dehydration and that kind of stuff. And then you couple in not ordering water on your bill because either you're trying to save money, which you shouldn't have gone on vacation if you can't afford some water, or you just don't think of it because you're just busy partying. It's like you need to drink water, bro.
Yeah. Before we end this, because we have been going for an hour now, I was just thinking, you were saying how like, you came back nice and tan. I wish you would have thrown one of those little stickers on you so we could have seen like how tan you were. Those like little stickers that girls put on at the tanning salons.
Well, just so happens.
Yeah, show me your waist. You got.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's it, man. You got anything else?
Nah, that's all I got, man. So, if anybody wants some stories, hit the masses in a DM, and I'll be happy to share some stories. And otherwise, guys, I do recommend Tulum. Just be smart. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't get involved with people that you don't know. And but that was one of the best trips I ever had in my life, man.
I'm happy to hear that, man. I'm happy you had a good time.
Absolutely. And I got an Airbnb that I'll recommend as well. So if you hit the DM, I'll be happy to share it. And also, if you're watching this right now, if you were watching it earlier and you're going to come back and finish it up, just please, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I mean, we've made a significant climb in subscribers. We're past 100, so we have our own URL now on YouTube.
Top G shit.
Top G, so we're trying to do everything that we can to spread the channel, to get this channel to as many people as possible. And the best way to do that, it's free for you guys to support the channel just by giving us a like, subscribing to the channel, share it with people if you'd like, leave some comments, and just join us every Monday and Thursday. So next week we're going to be back on our typical schedule. Monday we'll be going live, Thursday we'll be going live, and the following week we're going to drop some content for you guys just to hold you over in the meantime. And maybe I'll go live on the Instagram channel next week and just give you guys a little bit of content just so you guys could touch base with us. And otherwise, guys, send us any DMs or leave any questions or content you'd like us to discuss in the comments.
That's it.
That's all we got. This is Masters and None, episode 98, and we're 2 episodes away from episode 100. So that means on Monday is episode 99, and that Thursday next week is episode 100. So get ready, because we're going to be popping some champagne. We're going to be celebrating, and it's Berto's last episode before he goes away on his trip, and he's going overseas for real. So just, guys, please show us some support if you can, and we appreciate you guys.
That's it. Masters and None, episode 98.
Episode 98. We out.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión, Wilson Manyoma.